Staying like this.
I thought we were meeting on Tuesday.
You gonna stay off the holiday?
Sure.
You gonna stay off the holiday?
So Rich,
Yeah,
let me
let's
see if I
stay
got
on
this
the
right.
holidays.
So that
It's
40
starting
miles
to
an
get
hour,
really
we
We
stopped
had
at
something
80.
last year.
Remember we were having that conversation
MLK
about how
Day,
stopping
and I think
distance
Steve and I were
for
looking for information. I
braking and
remember
how
what the
what
ordinance
speeds.
was. But there was no one in the offices for us to ask. I don't remember.
Oh, I know, everybody's closed.
We discussed that.
How heavy is the vehicle? How many pounds is it?
Who's calling first?
Yeah. Oh, is that word still used in automotive speak? Posi? Second trash.
You,
Where's the gas? Make it so.
Mr. Miller.
The Joe know.
Hey, Joe, we're gonna,
Sorry.
you're gonna call for your meeting on Tuesday then.
It's Martin Luther King Day.
I've got a contract that day. I
Yeah,
can't.
they understood.
That day, so I can't call for the day. I can call for the following.
Nice person.
Call for
You can still call it.
still Monday.
He's got a vice chair.
We can still call it.
Okay. And the reason for not calling it for Monday?
It's a holiday.
Martin Luther King Day.
We've had it before.
I know, but we want to see.
Council wants to change it, Mr. Everybody wants to change it. Anyway,
It's your gavel.
It's his committee.
it's his committee.
Okay, he outranked me there.
Well, okay,
So I can't, I think I can still call for Monday, can I?
Yeah, you can call
I
it
can
Monday.
still call.
But it has to be voted on to send it.
The council needs to change the meeting time.
But I'm asking not to, because
The ordinance specifies you can't.
What do you want, Mark?
I want it to be Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, I
holiday.
think
I
we need
mean,
to have, we need to have it on a day when staff are available.
So staff are not available on Monday?
That's
No,
correct.
It's a holiday.
Happened to us last year.
Yeah.
I didn't know what staff was needed.
Shouldn't talk about this right now anyway. I mean, it's in this big group.
Yeah, it's probably good.
All right, let's go. January 9th, 2017, a regular meeting of the Amherst City Council come to order, please. Roll call.
Mr. Van Churen?
Here.
Mrs. Wasilk?
Here.
Mr. Benarski?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Janik?
Here.
Mr. Bukovac?
Here.
Mr. Goodell?
Here.
Mr. Winarski.
I would like to ask that we excuse Mr. Jeffries, please.
Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to excuse Mr. Jeffries from tonight's meeting. Any comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Van Churen?
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk?
Yes.
Mr. Benarski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Janik?
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac?
Yes.
Mr. Goodell?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll stand for the prayer by Chaplain Silk and remain standing for the pledge of the flag by Sergeant Arms Bukovac.
Will you bow with me, please? Gracious God, bless this meeting tonight and guide us and keep us all in your care. We ask a special blessing upon our new Congress and administration. Guide them and inspire them, watch over them. We ask also that you comfort all those whose lives have been destroyed by violence. Keep those who survive in the palm of your hand. Bless all of us who are here tonight, and now may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move on to item 5, acknowledgement of the public pertaining on items on tonight's agenda. Oh, yes, forgot about that. Move on to item 4, the consent agenda.
Minutes of the regular council meeting held December 12, 2016. Minutes of the executive session held December 12, 2016. Minutes of the annexation committee meeting held January 2nd, 2017. Minutes of the police and fire committee meeting held January 2nd, 2017.
Mr. Goodell.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda as read.
Mr. Winarski?
I'll second.
Motion is second on the floor to accept the consent agenda as read. Any comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Van Churen?
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk?
Yes.
Mr. Winarski?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Janik?
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac?
Yes.
Mr. Goodell?
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we'll move on to item 5, acknowledgement of the public pertaining items on tonight's agenda. Anyone wishing to speak on anything that is on tonight's agenda? If not, move on to item 6, ordinances and resolutions. First reading, item A.
A resolution pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 5705.19, submitting to the electors of the city of Amherst the question of a renewal levy for a period of 5 years for the purpose of providing and maintaining fire apparatus, appliances, buildings, or sites therefore for the fire department of the city of Amherst, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Goodell.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend council rules so item 6A may be passed on its first reading with the emergency.
Mr. Winarski.
I'll second.
Motion is second on the floor to suspend council rules on item A, so may be passed on the first reading. Are there any comments? Roll call vote.
Mr. Van Churen.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Goodell.
Motion to adopt.
Mr. Winarski.
I'll second.
Motion is second on the floor to adopt. Roll call vote.
Mr. Van Churen.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
It's resolution 17-01.
That completes item 6. We'll move on to item 7, ordinances and resolutions, second reading.
Resolution of necessity for the construction and repair of sidewalks for the year 2017.
Mr. Bukovac.
Make a motion to take 7A to its third reading, please.
Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to take item A on to the third reading. Are there any comments? Roll call vote.
Mr. Van Churen.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Motion carries. That completes item 7. Move on to item 8, ordinances and resolutions, third reading. We have none. Move on to item 9, miscellaneous and acknowledgement of the public. Anyone here wishing to speak on any item? I have one item. The mayor would like council to, he's recommending the following appointments to the Design Review Board. Both appointments will end January 31st, 2020. Mr. John Mazie and Mr. Bill Swanzer. These gentlemen both sit on the board now, and they've requested to be reappointed. So, are there any comments? Mr. Winarski.
If it's your board, Mr. Mayor, any thoughts, comments?
I wouldn't have appointed them if I didn't
Okay.
think they were good people. They've done a real good job over the years. They're good for the city.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So, with that, I'll entertain a vote or motion. Mr. Van Churen.
Move to approve the two new appointments to the Design Review Board by the mayor.
Mr. Goodell.
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to approve the appointments that the mayor has made to the Design Review Board. Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Van Churen.
Yes.
Mrs. Wasilk.
Yes.
Mr. Winarski.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Janik.
Yes.
Mr. Bukovac.
Yes.
Mr. Goodell.
Yes.
Motion carries. That completes item 9. Move on to item 10, agenda requests and committee meeting schedules.
I have 4, Mr. President. The first is 17-02 for ordinance, and it's an ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Amherst codified ordinances and declaring an emergency. The next is for streets. It's 17-03. It's authorization to bid and award the 2017 Street Rehabilitation Program. The next is A-17-04 for finance. It's authorization to bid and award the Elyria Avenue Repairs and Improvement Projects, OPWC Issue 1, Round 31. And the final one is A-17-05 for streets, authorization to bid and award the widening of Kresge Drive, and that's complete.
Thank you. Finance, Ms. Vasil?
Yes, I have one item, A-17-04, as read by the clerk, and I call that for Tuesday, the 17th of January at 7 p.m. That's complete, Mr. President.
Thank you. Building and lands, Mr. Janik?
I do not have the item in front of me, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Janik. Streets, Mr. Bukovac?
I have two items. A1703, authorization to bid and award 2017 street rehabilitation program. And also A1705, authorization to bid and award the widening of Kresge Drive. I'd like to call that meeting for Tuesday, the 17th at 7:05.
Thank you. Community Development, Mr. Goodell?
I do not have that item in front of me, Mr. President. Oh, I'm sorry. I have no items at this time.
Thank you, sir. Executive, Mr. Van Turen?
No items, please cancel, Mr. President.
Thank you. Ordinance, Mr. Miller?
One item, Mr. President, A-17-02, an ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Amherst codified ordinance and declaring an emergency. Looks like we're going to be meeting on Tuesday. I will be absent, so in my place, our vice chair, Mr. David Janik, will be chairing that committee, and is 7:15 right in line with the numbers or the times I heard earlier?
Probably 7:10, I would think.
Okay, so be it. 7:10.
Thank you, sir.
No other items, thanks.
Utilities, Mr. Jack?
No items, Mr. President, please cancel.
Recycle, Mr. Miller?
Keep recycling, but no items.
Thank you. Technology, Mr. Bukovac?
No items, please cancel.
Thank you. Police and Fire, Mr. Winarski?
Nothing at this time, Mr. President.
Annexation, Mr. Miller?
No items, please cancel.
Thank you. That completes item 10. Move on to item 11, reports to administration.
Thank you. Mr. Kukuka?
Thank you. The year-end, month-end December reports have been distributed. And I know we're still trying to get into the mode here, but we'll need that motion.
Yes.
End of report, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ramsey?
Our reports have been distributed as well. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Pecora?
Yeah, just as an aside, about meetings on Mondays of holidays, the standing rules of council only prohibit Monday meetings as it pertains to regular meetings on official holidays. Just so we have a point of reference moving forward, committee meetings are to be called by the committee chairs at a time and place that at a date and time that they desire. So the Monday prohibition for holidays is not applied to the committee meetings. Just for point of reference moving forward.
They're okay still Tuesday?
Oh yeah. You could establish our chairs can establish the dates and times and when they want to have their committee meetings. The standing rules of council, as it pertains to regular meetings, that has a prohibition for meetings on legal holidays on Monday. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I have one item. The AEDs, the automated external defibrillators that we got a grant for have arrived. And we distributed the 4 of them. The police department has one. It'll be in a cruiser and it'll be on the road at all times. The street garage got one. The utilities building, Sand Springs, got one. And we have one here now at City Hall. Jamie, myself, and Mr. Jeffries are trained on the defibrillator, and so are all the people at the other 2 buildings are going to get training. Most of them have already received it. And one of the meetings that we don't have, that we're not real busy, we'll bring somebody in and do some proper training for all of us here, so that any of us here could use the defibrillator, and probably some basic training for CPR also, because the 2 go together. And one other item that the grant got, we had one. It's a device for CPR. It's a manual device that pumps the chest, and I guess that is really a good device from my understanding. That's with our fire department now. So just wanted to let you know we have those, and that's it at this time. So any reports?
Are those going to be accessible? In other words,
Right now they're just in a box and they're sitting on a shelf.
That.
But we've ordered a cabinet, just somewhat like the fire extinguisher cabinets. And I'm not sure yet if you have to break glass to get it out. I think you just open the door and bring it out, and they talk to you. They won't do things to the victim or the person unless they're in need of it. It actually makes a diagnosis when it's hooked up, and decides what kind of shock or shock at all. If they're in a rhythm that doesn't need shock, it won't let you do it. So I looked at it today, I was pretty impressed. I think anybody, even without training, could open the box, listen to it, and hopefully save somebody's life.
Okay.
So, thank you. So eventually it will be out in the hallway in a box, and it'll be,
Yeah.
you know,
That's why I was
a lot of
worried.
county buildings have them now, and, you know, I think if we all get training, you know, not very often will one of us not be here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller.
Move to accept the reports of administration and acknowledge with the receipt of the treasurer and auditor's reports. And then I just have a comment on that. Thank you, Mr. Pecora, for your looking that up. I did have my thoughts that committees could be called by the chair when it's convenient for the chair. In this case, I still am going to continue with that date, even though I will not be here. It's just bringing the ordinances into file, and I don't think that's something that I don't need to be here.
Sure.
We can get it taken care of, but I appreciate you looking that up and giving us that flexibility as chairs of our own committees. So I have a
I'd
motion
like
to
to
accept.
keep a separate ordinance or a separate motion on the reports of the auditor.
If you want them as separate motions, I put them together, but if you need them as separate motions, that's fine too.
I'd rather have them separate. I think that'd be better for us. So do you want to make that motion, Mr. Miller?
I'll just make a motion to accept the reports of administration and
Okay.
start there.
Mr. Van Kuren?
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to accept the reports of administration. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Reports are accepted. Mr. Miller?
We'll go ahead and move to accept the year-end, or excuse me, the year-end reports, right? For the auditor and the treasurer's department.
Thank you. Mr. Goodell?
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to accept the reports of the auditor for the year end. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Reports are accepted. Mr. Miller?
Move to adjourn, please.
Mr. Goodell?
Second.
Motion is second on the floor to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned at 7:18.
I think we're supposed to.
Hmm? What?